Hi there, folks, and welcome back to a regular WP-Tonic workshop series. This is a series of 4 videos that I'm doing with my colleague Haroon, and we're doing it on BuddyBoss. We've done an intro, a beginner 101 video. The last one was a more advanced for beginners and intermediates. And this one, we're going to concentrate on how to integrate BuddyBoss with one of the leading learning management systems that WP-Tonic supports on our hosting plans. And I think it's going to be LearnDash. It's going to be how to integrate or some of the things that you need to know when you're looking to integrate BuddyBoss with LearnDash. So with no more delays, I'm just going to let Haroon introduce himself, and then we're going to be off on this great workshop session. So over to you, Haroon.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here again as always, and I'm excited about sharing from what I've learned about WordPress and its ecosystem over the years. I've been a part of it for more than 2 decades and a part of the WordPress ecosystem in particular past around 13 years or so. I've over the years acquired a whole tool set of tried and tested best practices and tools that are best at the job that they do using WordPress, and among them the LMS that we're gonna try out today is one, and the social media platform BuddyBoss that's on the list in the first place, and we discussed it in the past 2 lectures as well. So in fact, I might have LifterLMS installed already on that site. Let me.
Oh, we do Lifter. I thought we were doing LearnDash, but
yeah. So the idea was LearnDash, but I may have already installed. In that case, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at both. Why? Because why not?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So let me quickly download a copy dash and let's see.
Shall we
and share my screen? Yes.
Oh, yes, there you go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Here we have LifterLMS already installed. So let's just go ahead and activate both of these. Oh, and since we have Woocommerce installed, we're going to take a look at Woocommerce integration with LearnDash with BuddyBoss today as well. So I'm going to go ahead and LifterLMS, WooCommerce, and LifterLMS integration with WooCommerce. And we also had WooCommerce subscriptions, which is not that relevant to BuddyBoss itself as much as it is in today's scenario to LifterLMS, but BuddyBoss also supports WooCommerce subscription, so you can configure it to sell memberships through WooCommerce memberships and subscriptions and give users access to the BuddyBoss site if you want to set it up as a paid access.
That's fantastic, because listeners and viewers, that is our standard setup for our clients. We use either Lifter or LearnDash, and then we use it with Woocommerce with the subscription, with either cart flows or launch flows. We tend to recommend cart flows and launch flows for more of the hardcore implementer type, but either do a great job. So that what Haroon is suggesting is our normal payment structure. WooCommerce with cart flows, with subscription. I don't know if he's got cart flows. We'll probably do that next time. We'll add that to the mix. So sorry to interrupt, Haroon.
I don't have cart flows installed on this site yet. but yeah, we can touch upon it in the next lecture. But cart flows is less relevant to BuddyBoss in particular, as much as it is to the whole concept of optimizing the checkout flow with WooCommerce. So it's not BuddyBoss specific. It's more of a general checkout optimization platform, if you will. And let's go back to our plugins. Actually, no, we don't need to go back to plugins. Let's go to BuddyBoss and its integrations and see what do we have here after we've enabled LearnDash and WooCommerce. So over here, we see LearnDash in BuddyBoss integrations. And BuddyBoss platform has integration settings for LearnLMS. If using LearnDash, we add the ability to sync LearnDash groups. So you can sync LearnDash groups with BuddyBoss social groups. So any activity that happens by students on LearnDash groups. Sorry, we were talking Lifter. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, this is LearnDash. Let me take a look at Lifter integration for BuddyBoss. BuddyBoss LifterLMS integration. It integrates with so many things that if you haven't used one in a while, you forget whether the integration is being provided by BuddyBoss or if it's provided by LifterLMS, because some integrations, like for certain plugins, the integration comes with within the core BuddyBoss platform itself, and then there is an extension provided by BuddyBoss that you install, and for some, the extension is provided by the vendor of that plugin. Like with MemberPress, I think MemberPress is the provider of their BuddyBoss integration extension rather than BuddyBoss. So it's always good to just search with the sort of terms I use, BuddyBoss LifterLMS integration, and then go to this their document and see what we at. So you can download BuddyBoss LifterLMS, the most advanced LifterLMS theme for your online courses. So there's BuddyBoss for LifterLMS it should be the same theme. Yeah. So one thing I don't like about BuddyBoss at all is they have way too many landing pages for all sorts of integrations, and they make it sound like this is a different thing when it's just the BuddyBoss theme and it integrates with LifterLMS. So they have this for SEO purposes, they have this landing page set up that makes it appear like it's like a thing for LifterLMS. So let's go back to this and take a look at, let me just quickly go through
the other factor you've got to take into account, listeners and viewers, is that you should always check this, because this is a very dynamic, changing area, and the kind of integration that BuddyBoss is offering for both LearnDash and LifterLMS are changing on a regular basis, and that integration works on both sides. I know LifterLMS is integrating more and more with BuddyBoss, and BuddyBoss is integrating more and more with Lifter, and the same thing applies with LearnDash. And obviously there's about half a dozen WordPress learning management plugins, excluding all the membership plugins you got. But the reason why we concentrate on Lifter, LearnDash, and BuddyBoss, because these are three of the most established platforms in the WordPress ecosystem. All three of these plugins have been around for at least, I think, 4 to 5 years, and they have established ownership and a high percentage of their particular market. So I see these as the most stable, feature-rich, and best supported options in the WordPress ecosystem.
Oh, yes, completely agree with that. And there's another up and coming player which is getting a lot of acclaim, and it is getting integrated with every major WordPress plugin. Its integrations come faster than those of any other learning management platforms previously. That's LMS. Over the past couple of years, it has gained a lot of traction. So that's a third option that I would keep an eye on, but primarily LearnDash and LifterLMS. These two should do pretty much anything that you want an LMS to do on WordPress. Unless you want to build like a whole university site, then you'd probably look at a dedicated LMS platform rather than a WordPress-based LMS.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I agree with you. I agree with you with Tutor, but we have built whole university solutions using LearnDash.
Yes,
we haven't done that with. I don't actually. That's where I kind of see of a slight divide between LifterLMS and LearnDash. Is that with Lifter, I really see it as a great solution for the individual coach or learning entrepreneur, as I put it, where because of its structure, add-ons and other factors, I really see LearnDash as a more suitable tool for organizations. I see it, we tend to use LearnDash for organizations, and we tend to use LifterLMS for as an individual solution.
I completely agree. Okay, so let's take a look at the integration now. So yeah, I was right in that it wasn't in BuddyBoss, it was more of a setting in LifterLMS. So we're going to go to LifterLMS settings. And let's see if we get BuddyBoss there in the settings automatically in integrations, or if we have to install an add-on, because even that's like all over the place with so many integrations that BuddyBoss has. For some, it's just native, it's just there. And for some, you have to actually go ahead and add it. So in integrations, there's BBPress and BuddyPress right here, and WooCommerce. Let's see the documentation. Yeah, it mentions BuddyPress. So since we do see BuddyPress integration, that is like, since BuddyBoss is backwards compatible with BuddyPress, so a BuddyPress integration is as good as a BuddyBoss integration for LifterLMS. And we have to enable it from here. So checking this box would enable it, and we save the changes. And then there's the BBPress integration, which basically integrates the forums between LifterLMS and BuddyBoss. So forums and topics can be restricted to memberships, and forums can be added to courses and more. You can see the documentation to see what can be done. So we save the changes. So we've integrated it both with BuddyPress and BBPress, which is the overall integration with BuddyBoss. And let's also take a quick look at the WooCommerce integration over here, which is already enabled. So this basically lets us set up our store in a way that a product bought to get access to a course, a subscription product, since we have WooCommerce subscription enabled. So when someone's subscription enrollment state is active, they will be in a course, and when their subscription goes to on hold or canceled or expired, unenrolled from any connected courses to those to that that subscription level. And yeah, there's that. Now when we BuddyBoss, and let's just go to the front end, and let's go to my profile. So in my profile, I should now have an additional option for the courses. Yes, so over here, you see I have a courses tab added, and this tab will show you any courses that I have, any memberships that in the LifterLMS memberships component, my achievements in that I've taken, and my certificates. So basically, it just gives you your backend, your front end profile access for LifterLMS, where you can see your courses, memberships, achievements, and certificates. It gives you that within your BuddyBoss profile, so that your users have a experience, rather than there being one backend for WooCommerce, another backend for BuddyBoss. Well, you can't call it backend, like one front end profile for WooCommerce and for BuddyBoss, and another client area profile region for WooCommerce. You get it all. And I don't think we have set up the Woocommerce integration yet, because that adds a shop tab over here, so that you even get all of your WooCommerce My Account endpoints, where you can see your products that you've purchased, any subscriptions that you have, right in your profile area in BuddyBoss. And enable that as well, so that you get to see how that looks. So we go to BuddyBoss settings or integrations. I think there was a third-party add-on that needed to use for BuddyBoss WooCommerce integration. One, in fact, there were two. There were two. One was BuddyCommerce, and there was another BuddyBoss WooCommerce integration. There was, I think, WC4BB or something like that. I don't recall the name right now, but let's see if I can quickly find it. BuddyBoss WooCommerce integration. Yes, WC4BB. WC4BB, WC4BP. So I've tried both, and at times one and the other, it's like they have a lot of overlapping features. But my favorite one was, I think, this WC4BP. Yes, I had hearted it to distinguish it from the other ones. So this was my favorite one. And let's quickly enable it. First, add it. So that's one thing I really like about the BuddyBoss platform. Otherwise, let's say you have a site with MemberPress, with LearnDash, and with WooCommerce. And now, let's add some other plugin in the mix as well. Let's say the events calendar. So in a normal site of BuddyBoss, you would have 4 client areas where a logged in client can go to manage the settings and the data for that respective plugin. One would be the client area for WooCommerce. One would be the client panel for LearnDash, where they see their courses and achievements. One would be the client area, or whatever you might want to call it client area, call it member dashboard for MemberPress, where they see what MemberPress subscription they have, what MemberPress membership accesses they have. And then there's going to be one for your events, like what tickets they've purchased and whatnot. So with BuddyBoss, it brings all of those separate client areas into your profile as profile tabs. So it gives a much more unified experience to the users. Otherwise, you can still build it without BuddyBoss, but it's going to take a lot of time and effort and some coding. You would probably need to either use or do some custom coding.
We do it a slightly different way, because I was going to ask you why we're obviously Haroon works for WP-Tonic on the marketing automation side, but also he's got a lot of experience with BuddyBoss, but he also does his own build outs, but he does it a slightly different way than our normal W-Tonic way. So we slightly differ to this because we don't use MemberPress, right? Mm-hmm. Secondly, like what Haroon said about LifterLMS, its student management area, and the actual the way we set it up, the subscriptions are handled by WooCommerce, but then we use our add-on plugin that enables you to add custom tabs to that WooCommerce interface where you administer subscriptions, and we add a tab that will take you to the Lifter student management interface. Yes. So when somebody logs in, they always log into the WooCommerce, which handles subscriptions, and then they can access, it just pops up another tab on their browser where they will have the LifterLMS student interface. That's how we do, and I'll make sure in the show notes there's a link to this add-on. What I'm intrigued is why you've downloaded this other plugin to communicate between BuddyBoss and LifterLMS, because we tend not to do that, but we're always installing WooCommerce with subscription, and the subscriptions, when people are signing up, they're signing up through Lifter, and then they're using BuddyBoss for the social element. So I'm interested why you downloaded that additional plugin.
Oh, that plugin is for WooCommerce and BuddyBoss integration. So your WooCommerce My Account area, it becomes a tab in your BuddyBoss profile, rather than having a separate account area for WooCommerce and a separate client profile area for BuddyBoss. Let me just show you.
So it's similar. So that's one of the, I understand what you mean. So really it's similar to what we do. It's just that you're trying to
other way around.
Yes, the other way around, right?
Yeah. And I also use your method for any client sites that are primarily WooCommerce and they have, but not BuddyBoss. So nothing as robust as a BuddyBoss profile, nor some custom built backend client, front-end client profile. Then we just use WooCommerce area and we just add tabs. I just hand code tabs. I don't even use a plugin for adding those tabs because I have like a code snippet. I just add it in a feature plugin and add as many tabs as I need. And in those tabs, I set up their FTP dashboard, their LearnDash or LifterLMS or whatever dashboard. So it's all under the same WooCommerce My Account setup rather than having separate areas. But when we are using a very robust front-end profile system, as we have with BuddyBoss, that gives us these so many options over here, then I prefer to keep everything within the BuddyBoss profile rather than the WooCommerce My Account profile. And I'll show you what happens when we enable this shop tab in profile, and we add it as a top level item, and we redirect WooCommerce My Account to the BuddyBoss profile, and then add the sub tabs for order. We can change it slug or keep it separate, and this is not going to be a top level. This is going to be under the shop item, and then tracking, so we can give it another slug if we want. And similarly, downloads, addresses, payment method, I'll just call it payments, and save changes. So now when after saving these changes, when I refresh this, so not only do we now have a courses tab over here, but as you're going to see, we're going to have a shops tab. And in fact, let me also change the layout a little bit to make it better. I'm going to get rid of the buddy panel that's on the side, because I'm not a huge fan of having this panel. It looks fancy, but to me, it's very redundant when we can more efficiently have these things in a drop-down menu like this out of the way. It's taking way too much space and not really doing much. So do is I'll go to BuddyBoss. One thing that's overwhelming about BuddyBoss is just the sheer amount of settings it has. My goodness.
Yes.
And Buddy panel, where did we go to? Enable or disable Buddy panel. Was it in components? Or yeah, it was in theme options, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't in components. Yeah, that's actually an option of the BuddyBoss theme rather than the BuddyBoss platform. So yeah, naturally, it's either in theme options or we just unassign any menus that we have assigned to the Buddy panel. Ah, yes, here's Buddy panel. So we can just switch it off, changes. And then we have to do one more thing. I want this top bar to be as a top bar, but any of these tabs as vertical rather than horizontal under this. So there was a setting for that as well. Let's find it. Now, was that also BuddyBoss theme option? I think it was, but let's header search messages, notifications, cart. Oh, we can also enable cart to be shown and notifications and messages to be shown. And let's take a look at sidebars, page sidebar. Okay, maybe it's in profile settings. Let's just go to actually settings and oh, there's profile types. I'm going to enable that and show you what they do as well. But I just can't seem to find that setting which basically brings these items in a vertical list right next to this one. Let's just refresh the page and see if anything changes. Okay. Sidebar, directory sidebar. They should really add a search feature for their settings because there's so much to do that it can get overwhelming to find an option no matter how many times you've used. Anyway, I think, yeah, I'll just look into that, find the option and touch upon it in the next session rather than time in this session, but it gives a better interface with these sub items laid out in a vertical manner rather than horizontal one. So over here, you see the shop item has been added. Now you click this shop item and over here, you have this entire WooCommerce My Account backend, order tracking, downloads, addresses, payment methods, what you'd expect in your account area. And that's one thing that I really like about BuddyBoss. Let me just quickly see one more thing where I think that option just might be there. If I find it there, fine and dandy. Otherwise, I'm just going to look for it and we're going to touch upon it in the next session. Let's see the custom. Because it just changes the entire look and feel of this region by just switching one setting. It makes it look way more refined. Okay, yeah. In BuddyBoss platform, let's see. Profile navigation, yes. I think it was, yes, display the profile navigation vertically. Yes, we found it. We did it. Okay. And let's publish it. Oh, and you can also reorder. So let's say you want timeline to be at the very top under profile, and then connections, then groups, then photos, then forums, and after that courses and shop. And you want to hide the email invites, let's say. And all of a sudden, you reload it, and you're going to see how much more refined it looks this way. See, you now have these tabs on the left, and then let's say you select courses, then any sub tabs of the courses area would be on top. And I think this gives for a much better, more visually appealing and more optimized use of the space, rather than having a full width content area for all of these tabs. So there you have it. And now for showing a couple more things that what happens when we actually enroll in a course. So let's go to courses, and let me enroll in one of the courses if we have any published. Yeah, let's and this course. And yeah, okay. So let's sign up for actually both of these courses. Okay, so in my account that I've set up, because I'm an admin, it's not asking me for all of these fields. But if we weren't using an admin account, we'd go through a whole process where all of these fields would be asked, and then we can sign up. So this was just a test site. I didn't configure everything properly yet. But let's just see if the courses start to appear in my courses section yet. Or I can manually enroll someone in a course from the back end, I guess. Actually, let's just do something else. New incognito window. Yeah, let me not do all of that as admin. Let me go through the whole registry as a new user. I haven't added the courses to top navigation, but like that's pretty easy to do. So now let's see the plans and sign me up. Wait a second. There is some part of the integration that I'm missing here.
Well, don't you have to link? I don't know this for sure, but don't you have to link the courses with the WooCommerce subscription plugin as products?
I think I had linked it, but let me just quickly take a look. And let's first create an account and then see what happens. Okay, so an account, this is BuddyBoss registration system. Okay, let's change to another nickname. Oops, now I missed the password. Okay. I don't think the email confirmation will work because I haven't set up any SMTP system in the back end. So let's just quickly see if I can fix all of this without having to go through setting up an SMTP system, because that's just going to take way too much time, and we've already spent enough. So let's review the WooCommerce integration with MemberPress and see WooCommerce settings. Sorry, not MemberPress. I meant LifterLMS. And let's take a look at these memberships. Okay, no memberships have been set up because I didn't set up any memberships yet. I was thinking of setting up courses directly with LMS for now. So yeah, LifterLMS settings actually. Accounts and checkout. Take a look at these. Because if we start setting everything up with everything right away, then just one session wouldn't be enough for meticulously configuring everything together. Okay. So we have the billing information form. I think that was what was causing the issue. Yeah, no. Just a moment. Actually, let's go and edit the courses and link them to WooCommerce products. Which course were we talking about here? The quick start course. Okay, let's go ahead with that.
And just to go through with this, listeners, viewers, is that we're setting this up because it will give you a lot more flexibility. If you going through these steps, and then a few more steps with cart flows, which we'll show you in our next session, is that you'll be able to sell not only digital products, but physical products, a combination like you'd be able to sell books, t-shirts, whatever kind of physical with your courses in a one-page checkout environment where you could have up bumps, down bumps, that the the people that successfully go through your shopping cart can be taken to a thank you page where they could be asked to sign up for a special offer. There's just a host more flexibility. And like I say, with the beauty of going through these steps and utilizing the WooCommerce engine, we're not utilizing the actual templates, unlike an e-commerce store. We're just using WooCommerce as a payment engine. The other factor is that if you're utilizing Stripe or with PayPal, with LearnDash, unlike Lifter, comes with its own payment system inbuilt, but we tend not to do that when we are setting up this for clients. We tend to go straight and utilize WooCommerce because we find it's future-proofs everything, gives a lot more customizability, plus it deals with some of the issues around dealing with PayPal by utilizing WooCommerce as well. So it wins on a number of levels, but because we're dealing with now BuddyBoss, it just adds to, I wouldn't say on this particular area it adds anything more complicated, apart in the lovely way that BuddyBoss actually displays your courses and lessons, which is very appealing. So I thought I'd just give that quick outline. Would you agree with the basics that I've outlined, Haroon?
Oh, yes, completely agreed with that. So what I'm doing right now for the scope of this session is I'm just manually assigning my account to those courses so that I can show you how they appear in the program. In the next session, we can go through the whole flow of sign up setup with WooCommerce and LearnDash and LearnDash course access, because that will deserve a whole session of its own. So,
well, and also because the login, actually, Adam Presler of WP Crafter has just issued yesterday his last video, which was customizing the login and also customizing the actual WooCommerce account pages, so they're more modern looking. So maybe we could look at that. And
oh yes, certainly, certainly. So but I've while you were discussing all of that, up to be able to at least show you how, when students have registered for courses, here you can see now the courses tab shows these two courses that I have enrolled in. I've gone ahead and edited these courses and manually enrolled myself in it just to show you this. And I've also created a membership and manually added myself to that membership so that I can show you how that appears in memberships. So I haven't set up a preview for the membership here, but yeah, this is how the membership appears and this is how the courses appear. And the next thing to you, because we're just going to take care of the whole integration of the sign up lecture today. Let me show you how things appear in the menu when it comes to the course archive. And for that we go to appearances and menus, and we simply add the course archive to our top header menu, so that is shown in that header menu. We should have a courses page over here. Okay, it seems we don't have a course archive page, so let's go to LifterLMS settings. And make sure that our courses archive is
another thing, as I just want to quickly go through as Haroon is configuring this, because we've got another 5 minutes and then we need to wrap up this session, folks. But another thing that regularly comes up on that we are asked at WP-Tonic is how do you deal with what, especially e-learning entrepreneurs, they want to sell their courses to other organizations. So they want sub-admin, people in that organization that can admin the and buy a certain number of seats and then admin and allocate those seats to a certain amount of people in that particular organization. And we get asked this quite a lot. Now, both when it comes to Lifter has introduced their own group add-on. It was in beta until recently. Time goes quickly, and I think it's been out of beta for the past 4 or 5 months, 4 months, 3 to 4 months. Now, we don't actively recommend that you use that. And the reason why we don't is that at the present moment, its integration in with WooCommerce is, by their own words, a little bit iffy. And when it comes to LearnDash has no native way. They do have group functionality inside of Lifter, but it's not actually integrated with WooCommerce natively. There is a add-on for WooCommerce that deals with group allocation very effectively, and it's feature rich. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but I'll make sure it's in the show, in the supporting notes, folks. And that's the one, because if people are asking us to set this up for them, we supply that additional add-on. We supply the subscription add-on, plus this other plugin that integrates with WooCommerce and offers you all the functionality that you need for setting up groups for organizations where you're looking to sell a batch of seats, and those seats be administered by somebody in that establishment, in that company, rather than you having to administer the allocation. So you can actually sell packages and seat allocation to organizations. You probably, if you're using BuddyBoss, they might have something inbuilt. They look like they literally got everything inbuilt in BuddyBoss, but apart from that, that's how we deal with it. Do you think that was useful to discuss that, Haroon?
Oh, yes, definitely. And such scenarios often pop up with clients who want to set their community up not just as a community, but more as a platform for others to like selling like they could sell corporate memberships. They could have a community where companies buy an account, and then those companies may need to.
Yeah, the other one that you have probably done, which is a little bit different, and probably we probably can touch upon it in next session, or we might have to have a 5th session. It wouldn't surprise me if we have to have a 5th session because there's so much to discuss. But the other thing that not so often, but does come up, is to build using BuddyBoss, is to build an active marketplace where where different people can set up a sub account and sell their own courses in one marketplace, which is controlled by. You do get asked that, but that's a bit of a different setup to what I've just described in corporate or training packages, isn't it?
True, absolutely, I agree. So what I'm going to do over here with the menu, sorry to get sidetracked a bit from that, but yeah, I completely agree with you. But to wrap up, let me quickly go through this. Let's say we call this tab community, and then sub tab members, groups, and forums under the community. And then we can have courses, then we can have shop and blog, and so.
And the other thing I like to, as he's doing this, the other thing I like to point out is obviously we're going through a lot of stuff here, but if you do host with WP-Tonic, we can help you get this all installed, and we do have the resources to set things up for you, or Haroon can actually work with you directly. The other factor is you got to understand is that you can do this. What I mean by that is if you're using a lot of the SaaS applications like Kajabi, Teachable, Learnable, you couldn't even think about doing any of these things because they just don't offer the ability to do this kind of setups. And there are some SaaS-based forums out there, but they are also pretty uncustomable, and they tend to be rather expensive, don't they, Haroon?
Absolutely. And expensive, and again, not great value for money compared to what platforms like BuddyBoss and Peepso, both WordPress-based, offer.
Yes, Pizza. I haven't actually, I was interested in it, but their actual pricing structure isn't, but I did look at it, but I decided to keep with BuddyBoss, basically.
Yeah. So I use Peepso for a client, one of two clients in my entire career who just ghosted me without any good reason. So he was one of those, he ghosted me last year. Later, I found out that he was having trouble with his business partner in that business, and he just left the business on a sour note, and the business partner he brought his developer team. But I mean, he didn't have the courtesy to tell me that. He just ghosted him. I worked on Peepso, and it was a pretty robust system. It to offer than BuddyBoss, but unless you actually needed all of what it offered, BuddyBoss is a better option. Unless you need everything but the kitchen sink that Peepso offers. Even BuddyBoss has so much to offer that it can get overwhelming very quickly.
It's pretty extensive, isn't it?
Yeah, like you just saw that live in this session that I've worked over the past 2 years extensively. But today, just because the last LMS that I worked with on BuddyBoss wasn't Lifter, it was LearnDash. I was for a few minutes of the session clueless.
On reflection, we should have worked on LearnDash because it was the one. Because I've got no preference, ladies.
Yeah.
At WP-Tonic, we support Lifter and LearnDash, but the reason why we tend to install more Lifter than LearnDash is what I outlined at the beginning of this workshop, is that I honestly see LifterLMS offering more value and more suitable,
especially because of memberships.
Yeah, for the individual.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's where we slightly disagree, because, you know, don't get me wrong, Haroon, MemberPress is a fantastic membership plugin, but even if you're using LearnDash, if you're using WooCommerce and with cart flows and with the subscription add-on, I don't really see the point of utilizing MemberPress. But we could have a quick discussion about that in our next session, or maybe the last session of 5, because I think we actually are going to go.
We are going to have 5.
Because there's so much to discuss, isn't there?
Yeah, true. But just to give you a very quick response on that, I tried my best to get the checkout flow to be like one simple page where you select a plan, click checkout, you are given just a single page of the very bare minimum fields that are needed, and you can just check out with least friction. That on WooCommerce, you have to go through a lot of hoops, cart flows.
Well, that's why.
And even then, sorry. Right?
Yeah, that's why you need cart flows or launch flows, because I understand now why you were using MemberPress for the actual check. Yeah, it's totally understandable.
But even then, there's an issue that if you want to make the membership switching process from the back end, from the My Account area, as streamlined as well, cart flows doesn't help with.
No, it doesn't.
Add some custom code.
No.
Otherwise it's ugly AF. It's just horrendous. It's just drop down based ugly. If you want to really optimize it, you want to make the switching experience.
You have to watch Adam Paisley's last video because he solves that problem. The only thing I would say to you, and it's on, we're going a bit back and forth to finish off, viewers, but it's an honest discussion. The only thing I would say to you is, I do understand what you've just outlined, but what I would say to you is the benefit of being able to sell physical and digital products by utilizing Woocommerce from the beginning, to me, is a more stronger argument than the honest things that you have pointed out, because we have found trying to move into Woocommerce when you've got a really active membership website is a bit like trying to do maintenance on an aeroplane
while it's flying.
At the same time it's flying. So we actually think it's best to get this all set up at the beginning rather than trying to do maintenance on a plane when it's flying. So it's just but that's why we do it, Harry.
Yeah. And that's why I've worked with both, and based on the client's requirements, suit them best. If switching memberships, if the sort of interface they want to provide for switching memberships, that's not a big deal for them, then WooCommerce with cart flows or launch flows or anything like that, or even some code snippets that can take care of things as well. So that works. But it's just MemberPress because of its better UX, and also like having a completely separate shop and completely separate membership management. It's like it has never created any issues for me. So for that reason,
it's a quality membership plugin. Don't get me wrong. I would say it's the best. I just this is complicated as it is. I just don't feel the additional benefit that you're getting by adding it to the stack is beneficial enough to really persuade me to utilize it.
Right.
That's so, Good. So how are we going to finish off?
Coming back to, just to wrap things up, I've assigned I've assigned a courses page and added it to the menu, to the top navigation. So now when we come to the courses page, you see how natively beautiful these courses appear. And if we take a course in a new tab, if we just open a course, so with other themes, you wouldn't get this sort of out of the box beautiful integration with LMS and LearnDash. With BuddyBoss, it's like, even if you don't want to run it for a community, it's worth getting the theme for your e-learning site and your e-commerce site, even if you're not going to use the community aspects of BuddyBoss platform at all. I think it's just gorgeous, and it can have new items over here as well, which is like way beyond the scope of covering all in one lecture. So here's that, and then there's this shop. So the actually before shop, you see all courses and my courses.
I think we need, because we're in an hour and a quarter now, I think we need to wrap it up and we can look at this. So you're showing it now and it does look really fantastic.
So it's just out of the box, it looks like this. That was the only thing I wanted to add here.
Which is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Like people go through a lot of trouble to make their shop and make their membership area look like this. And even the blog, right now we only have one post, but if we have a bunch of posts, it all looks very consistently beautiful across courses, shop, and let's say you have events in my events, the events calendar, they're going to appear brilliantly as well, as we saw in the BuddyBoss sandbox demo. So I think we can wrap it up for now, and then we're going to touch upon the backend setup of LifterLMS memberships with WooCommerce and WooCommerce subscriptions, and
with cart flows, probably
with cart flows, and the registration process for the whole community. And
then the final one, fifth, we cover all the things that have come up during the conversations. We can cover all, because like I say, it's a very large subject. We have covered it. I know we've been dancing around a bit, viewers, but we have covered a lot in this workshop, and we've shown you roughly how you can configure BuddyBoss with LifterLMS with WooCommerce. So we've actually covered an enormous amount of territory. If you've got any questions, you can contact us at WP-Tonic. We'd be great. We'd be more than happy to consult with you. And we'll see you for the next part of our BuddyBoss workshop series in probably the beginning sometime next month. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.